Welcome, fellow freaks, geeks, and nostalgic peeps, to my channel, Slime and Slashers, where, yeah, we talk about everything from Nickelodeon slime to horror movie slashers, but plenty of stuff in between, including books. And yeah, it's time, baby! It's once again time for my favorite video of all time, and that is a book haul! This time, it is a vintage YA and vintage middle grade book haul, so Goosebumps, Fear Street, that kind of stuff. Yes, and all that jazz. It's gonna be some good stuff. I also have some random kind of vintage middle grade and vintage YA. It'll be like sci-fi, random adult books. We'll get to that at the end, but we'll start off with the middle grade, then we'll go to the YA, etc., etc. We'll just see what happens, but stay right where you are. I'm gonna go to the short intro. When we come back, we'll go through all the books. Ha, let's go! First up, we've got Bruce Coville's Book of Monsters and More Tales to Give You the Creeps, Volume 2. So this, I'm very excited. Look at this monster. He's just trying to read. Leave him alone, you freaking kids. Hoodlums. Next up, we've got Halloween. So this says it's a fright night, and I just love the cover so much.
Jack-o'-lantern burning bright, what is this horrific sight? Kate knew that her jack-o'-lantern looked kinda weird, but how could she have guessed that once it was lit, her usually boring family would be turned inside out and upside down? Her dad, now bizarre Mr. Fix-It, is putting on his own Twisted Tool Time show in the basement. The family's housekeeper is baking with bats, and Dr. Frankenstein is nothing compared to what Kate's mom has become. Can the magic of the jack-o'-lantern be stopped? Or will every day be Halloween at Kate's haunted house from now on?
This sounds like so much fun. I freaking love this premise. Now we have a few Apple Chillers books, so we'll start off with this one here. Isn't this beautiful? I say beautiful, you know what I mean? It's awesome looking. We've got, this is by Betty Wren Wright, and it's Christina's Ghost Has a Deadly Secret. He kind of looks angry. Kind of looks like kind of a get off my lawn ghost.
Get off my wall!
Get off my basement! I don't know what he's saying, but he's a grumpy old dude. The Girl in the Window by Wilma Yeo. Scared to Death. The only good babysitter is a dead one. Oops. Oh my, that's kind of morbid.
Uh-oh, we've killed the babysitter. Muffy, Elliot, and Quentin are 3 rude, crude kids. They swear. They play horrible pranks. They burp. No one will ever babysit for them, not if they want to make it out alive. Then Mr. and Mrs. Bullock accidentally hire the meanest hag of a babysitter the kids have ever seen. She's almost as bad as they are, but the Bullock kids are going to scare her good, so their sitter never comes back. Only this time, they go a little too far.
Another Betty Wren Wright book, Ghosts Beneath Our Feet, A Deadly Warning. Here's another book by Betty Wren Wright. This is The Scariest Night of Aaron's Life. And I really, really like that there are creepy dolls, including a ventriloquist dummy on the cover. Oh, hell yeah. She's like, oh, hell no, bitch. I ain't gonna be in this room with these dolls. Here's actually the same book, but a different edition, Scared to Death. I showed you it earlier as an Apple Chiller. This is just a different cover. Isn't this cool? Next up, I have a few Goosebump knockoff books, starting with Are You Slime? Gooflumps. Gooflumps? Anyway, it's a spoof.
This spoof is just a goof. Terror in the toilet. Stay out of the bathroom.
I'm gonna show you guys. This nice cover. I love the freaking colors. It's designed just like a Goosebumps book, as you can see, including the back. Here we have a Shivers book. I have a huge collection of these, and I'm glad to add yet another one to the collection. This is The Locked Room, number 5. Woohoo! Next up, I found a few bone chillers that I didn't have. I also have a collection of these. I would love to get them all one day, but you know, this one's not in great shape, but I still was happy to find it. Here we have Teacher Creature. Look at that frog. Reminds me of my friend Froggy. Check out her channel. I'll link her below. She really likes frogs. I'm not saying she looks like a frog. I'm just saying she likes frogs.
Guess who crawled out of the swamp?
I guess the teacher.
Hop, hop, bitch. Get up to the blackboard and solve this problem. Ribbit, ribbit.
Here is another one. This one is Blowtorch at psycho.com.
Truth is scarier than fiction. Jason is losing control of his own short story. Whenever he presses the save key on his computer, his words get twisted around and his story changes. Now, Blowtorch, the main character in Jason's thriller, is trying to escape from jail, even though that's not the way Jason typed it. It isn't just a glitch in the software. Blowtorch wants to break out of the computer and into Jason's life. Can Jason delete the deadly computer virus before it deletes him?
Next, we have a Dead Time Stories book, Along Came a Spider. I love the design of this series, all of the covers with the awesome bed at the top there and a skeleton like hiding under the covers. Love it. Next up, I have some good old Goosebumps. We've got Goosebumps, the Headless Ghost, one I didn't have, and this is in pretty great shape. I love it. Here we have a Give Yourself Goosebumps book. This one is Beware of the Purple Peanut Butter. Do you guys remember the purple ketchup? Get out of here. I don't want you purple ketchup, and I don't want purple peanut butter either. So I would beware of the freaking purple peanut butter, just like in the actual 90s, I was bewaring of... I was scared and freaked out and staying away from the green and purple ketchup, which I thought was disgusting. Like, just have it normal color. I don't care. So yeah. This dude's getting swallowed by a sandwich.
Help!
Here's a Ghosts of Fear Street book. This one is Fright Night. And that's night with a K. Haha. Play on words, bitch. Here we have another Ghosts of Fear Street book. This is 3 Evil Wishes. And I love on the front cover, it actually says here, Win a weekend in New York City. Meet R.L. Stine. No purchase necessary, details on back. That sounds like fun. I love like an advertisement for like a giveaway or a special prize package that you have to enter to win. Next up, 2 non-scary books. We've got vintage Mighty Morphin Power Ranger books, and I'm a huge fan now, currently, and I was a huge fan of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers when I was growing up. My dad and I used to watch it together all the time. My favorite Ranger was the Red Ranger. The funny thing is, my friend Teresa and I dressed up as the Red Ranger and the Black Ranger in like 2015. We were in college. So yeah, as adults, we dressed up as the Red and Black Ranger. I was the Red Ranger, of course, because he's my favorite. He's the true leader. Like, R.I.P., yes, Jason David Frank, R.I.P., but the Red Ranger is the leader. I'm sorry, for life. He's the real leader. I always thought that. I always didn't think that Tommy, the White/Green Ranger, was the leader, even though he kind of acted like the leader after he kind of came in. Anyway, here we've got 2 Power Ranger books that I didn't even know existed. One is called Putty Attack, and the other is called The Super Zords. Here we have another non-scary type of vintage middle grade book. This is Sleepover Friends, and I just love the cover. I just had to get it because look at this cover. Come on. Uh-oh, she's got like frickin' spikes in her hair because they're putting crazy glitter in it. It's a sleepover disaster, it says on the back. All their hair's messed up. I just love how shocked she looks, but she's not really that shocked looking. There's something on the book cover. Gotta get it off. I still gotta wipe these down. So she's like, oh, something's wrong, I suppose, maybe. And all the other girls are like, whatevs, we don't care. We got purple junk in our hair. Is it the peanut butter? I don't know. It kind of looks like glitter to me, not peanut butter, but it looks like that purple peanut butter from the Goosebumps book. Marvelous. Just marvelous. Oops, I actually forgot one of the Ghosts of Fear Street books. It was kind of sitting on the side there. This is The Attack of the Aqua Apes. Look at this ape. He's like, yo, fishy, fishy, here, fishy, fishy. Leave the fish alone. Here we have Super Scary Stories for Sleepovers by Q.L. Pierce. And the illustrations just look like a lot of fun on the inside here. Let me show you the cover though. So I found 2 Strange Matter books. This is the Weird West, and it's like a frickin' skeleton cowboy. So the first ever Strange Matter book I got was from my friend Cameron over at the channel Library Macabre. Check him out. Of course, that's Cameron Chaney. He gave me my first Strange Matter book, so when I saw these, I was like, I guess I might as well add to my collection, since Cameron kind of got me started on this. Now I'm continuing on. Next up, we've got Strange Matter Creature Features. And of course, we've got this big screen, and there's a skeleton on it. And these covers look terrible, but also cheesily awesome at the same time. Cheesily awesome. That's a weird phrase, but that's the phrase I'm going with to describe these covers. So, it is what it is. Deal with it! Here we've got a Mary Downing Hawn book. This is Wait Till Helen Comes. And actually my friend Crystal over at the channel Fiber Artsy, check out her channel, she's marvelous, I will link her below. She read this and really enjoyed it, so I'm so glad to have found a vintage old school copy. So yeah, excited. So these 2 girls encounter a ghost, and I hear it's just a great story, says Crystal. So I believe Crystal, we have very similar tastes, so excited to have found it. I found some Adventures of the Bailey School Kids books, and I always see these on Cameron's channel, not to mention him again, but I'm going to mention him again because he's the king of vintage middle grade and vintage YA. He has so many great freaking books in his collection. Check out his channel again if you have not. It's linked below, Library Macabre, but he specifically has talked about this one before, I 100% know, and he showed the books in general many times on his channel because he's got a whole big collection of these books. But Cupid doesn't flip hamburgers. He likes to read this around Valentine's Day, I remember him saying. So I think I will read this around next Valentine's Day. It's short, it's quick, he says it's cute. I can't wait. Look at her. She's like, oh, I'm so cute. I'm a little lunch lady. And here we have Mrs. Jeepers's Baddie Vacation. It's supposed to be like possessive, but it's kind of hard to say Jeepers in that way. But anyway, we've got some bats flying about. This is a super special number 2. And it just looked like fun. I like how there's like bat silhouettes all around. Hell yeah. Freaking Mrs. Jeepers looks kind of menacing.
Yes, bitch. Let me take you to school.
Here we have a double feature. So here it says flip over. Hell yes, it's Santa and Mrs. Claus. Santa and Mrs. Claus. Santa and Mrs. Claus. I will never get tired of it. So I bought this for Christmas Evil in July, but I didn't get to them because I didn't even haul it before kind of July ended. This is Mrs. Claus Doesn't Climb Telephone Poles. And look, we've got the cute little candy canes all around. And here is Santa Claus Doesn't Mop Floors. And we've got nice little decorations and more candy canes you can kind of see. Here we have the Babysitters Club Super Special number 5, California Girls. I have a few Babysitter Club books, mostly super special books because Cameron gave me a few, but I found this one and I was like, oh hell yeah, I don't have this one, let me get it. I just love these retro covers with all the clothing, the old school clothing on them. Wonderful stuff. This is a book I bought purely because I love the movie so much. The movie, of course, with Hayley Mills. This is The Parent Trap, and I didn't even know they had a book about the movie, and I'm sure there's pictures in it. Yeah, there are pictures from the movie. And I do like the remake with Lindsay Lohan, but I like the original the best because it just holds a special place in my heart. Had it on VHS. So yeah, it's beat up, but I really wanted it because I love this movie so much. So when I saw it, I was like, oh! And when I checked it out at the cash register, the book lady was like, I can't believe somebody as young as you knows about The Parent Trap with Hayley Mills. I'm like, yeah, I love that movie. It's one of my faves. She's like, oh, that's so surprising. You're so young. I was like, I don't know. I'm an old soul, bitch. I didn't say that to her, but that's what I was thinking. Like, I'm an old soul. I love old school things. So, was so jazzed to find this. Here I found a very cool edition of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I'm going to show you up close in 1 second, but I just had to get it. I went to this bookstore and like nothing else really jumped out at me, so I was like, I feel like I should buy something because I had come in with a lot of bags of books and I was like, I feel like I can't leave without buying something because he knows I bought something like, you know, everywhere else I went that day because he saw all the bags. But anyway, I'm glad I got this because it looks cool. Oh my! That must be Veronica. Alright, next up, let's go through the vintage YA. I'm very excited about some of this. So I found some Fear Street. I just have to get the stickers off. So first off, we've got One Evil Summer. She is lovingly holding a cat and, like, spinning it around like, I love you. Cat's like, let go of me.
Get your hands off my fur, bitch.
Gotta stop saying bitch, what the hell?
Chrissy is perfect. Perfectly evil.
Here we have a super chiller, The Dead Lifeguard, a perfect summer read. I can't wait. Summer's almost over, so maybe I could squeeze it in this month in August. If not, there's always next year. September, I want to try to start, reading carnival, clown, amusement park stuff for my Patreon-only readathon, which is all about that type of theme. You don't have to read those books, but I'm going to be reading those types of books. There's prompts that are general themed. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. There's always next summer, no matter what.
No one can save her now.
Here we have Wrong Number 2. Pretty sure I have wrong number, so I just wanted to get Wrong Number 2. I don't think, this is not a first printing. That's okay. Alright, I was really excited to find this because these are hard to find, very rare. Nightmare Hall, The Night Walker by Diane Ho. These have lovely step-back cover artwork. Here we have another Nightmare Hall book, The Wish. And I'll show you it close up in a minute. Just to describe it to you, there's a guy holding like a wanted photograph, and the guy looks like Merlin, but also a mannequin, or a doll. I'll show you. See, look at this dude. He's got like a Merlin cap. Look at his hand. Why is it like that? Who is this dude? Merlin doll guy. I don't know. Anyway, I gotta read this just to see who that guy is. Help! Save me from Merlin! Abracadabra! Next up, I found two Shockers books. This is Night Wings by John Peel. And it definitely looks like a vampire situation happening there. The next one is Grave Doubts by John Peel. And we got somebody coming out of a grave. Here we have Missing by Hannah Kurakawa, author of The Last Victim. It says,
he's waiting for the moment when nobody's watching.
And she's literally just looking off like, she really should be watching the road. She's looking in her rearview mirror. She's like, whatevs, I'll just crash into a tree, I'm oblivious here. But obviously somebody's following her. Here we have Wanted by Caroline B. Cooney. I have a lot of Cooney books, so I just decided to pick this one up too. Here we have Taggart Point. It's a series of books. It kind of seems like a ripoff of Fear Street. It says, when the dead scream, some friendships never die. And on the back it says,
Taggart Point is a peaceful town of white beaches and safe streets, but underneath it all are strange and frightening evils that only the teenagers of the town know about. Evils that are not entirely human.
That sounds like fun. So I've never heard of this, but it just looked cool, so I grabbed it. There's a ghostly lady, kinda, I'm coming for ya. I was so excited to find a Nightmare Inn book. This is The Attic. A Night of Horror.
An overnight trip, screams in the night, scared to death, Nightmare Inn. If you check in, you may never check out.
Here we have Bruce Coville's Chamber of Horrors, Amulet of Doom. Would you trust a demon? This looks really cool. And I've never seen it anywhere before, so I had to snag it, of course, when I spotted it at the used bookstore. Apparently, Satan is buff as hell. What the hell? Or, I don't know if this is Satan, but this demon dude is pretty buff. He's like,
do you even lift, bro?
I found some Christopher Pike. I found Chain Letter 2. I do have Chain Letter, the first book. This is The Ancient Evil. I have to get the sticker off, but I was just jazzed to find it. And then the other one I found, Bury Me Deep, and I love this. I don't think this one's a first printing, but I don't have this one, and I've been looking for it because I love the cover, so I was like, hell yes, when I found it, and I've been looking for it for so long, so very jazzed about both of these, really pumped. Another summary read, I've got I Saw You That Night by R.L. Stine with a skeleton lifeguard dude. I think my friend Elizabeth over at the channel Elizabeth Sagewood, I will link her below, check her out, she is fantastic. Great soothing voice, really awesome, loves Halloween, she's the best. She read this, I think, and didn't love it. I can't remember. I know she has this book, I think I remember her saying she read it and it wasn't the best, but I could be wrong. Unless that was Cameron. Both Cameron and Elizabeth are probably like peeps who I like to talk and listen to about vintage YA and vintage middle grade horror, so I know it had to be one of them. But anyway, I'm just glad to have it because the cover's badass. It's very summery, and yeah, I'm gonna read it one summer for sure. Probably not this summer though, to be honest.
Haha, I don't even need sunscreen because I ain't got skin, bitch. I'm just bones.
Okay, and last but not least, I've got this stack of random books. A lot of them are just, I don't know, either sci-fi, like Star Trek tie-ins, or movie novelizations, etc. I did find randomly a Kenan and Kel book, yes, a Nickelodeon book. I have one other Kenan and Kel book, I think it's called Kel Got Game. Yeah, that's it, it's over there. But now I found, it says Westward, whoa! And yeah, it's a Western-themed Kenan and Kel book. I don't know, but it seemed fun, and I was like, whatevs. I like Kenan and Kel, I like finding Nickelodeon stuff and collecting all things Nickelodeon, so you know I had to. Here we have the novelization of the movie E.T., The Extraterrestrial. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It makes me cry. It makes me cry so hard. Even though I've seen it a billion times, it still gets to me all the time. It's so wonderful. Classic movie. Very excited to have the novelization, and one day I'll read it. It'll be fun. Maybe for an old school April in the future. You know, that's my readathon that I run every April, which, you know, kind of is all about nostalgia, and you don't have to read old things, but it's, you know, the prompts are kind of based around nostalgia, but you can twist the prompts to be able to read newer stuff too. But I try to read older stuff for the most part, or stuff that's set in the past that may be newer. But yeah, this could totally be read in a future old school April. Next up, another movie novelization, Explorers. I've actually never seen this movie. I think my dad bought it for me on DVD recently. I've got to watch it. I know it's like about these kids, I think, who find aliens. Explorers. Aliens summon them for a dangerous encounter. Explorers. In a flimsy ship, they speed toward outer space. Explorers on a thrilling voyage into unbelievable worlds. Here we have Cliffhanger, the novelization of the movie, of course starring Sylvester Stallone. I've only seen it once, and I don't remember much about the movie, but I love Sly Stallone. He's ridiculous in the best way, and I mean that as a compliment. So yeah, I'm excited to have this book, and it would be perfect probably for Garb August, but there's no way I'm going to get to this, but it would be appropriate if I happen to get to it. Next up, Total Recall. I don't know why I said that. Obviously because it stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I haven't seen this in a long time either. For some reason, I picked up a lot of action novelizations, like action movie novelizations. I don't know why. I was just like, I feel like I gotta guess. Whatevs. Kind of looks like we're half in. What the hell? I'm half Arnold. I'll be back. That's so dumb. Oh, that's perfect. This should be the screen capture. Oh, I'll be back. I'm a weightlifter. The accent's bad, whatever. Okay, next book. That didn't sound like him. Last but not least, we've got some TNG books, and if you know me, you know I like TNG. If you're new here, welcome, and I like TNG, bitch, by the way. Alright, I will not say bitch anymore. I'm saying it too much this haul. It's kind of one of the things I say a lot, but I'm saying it too much today. Here we have the Next Generation Unification, so it says, at last, the generations meet. And I love it because it's got Picard on the cover and Spock. Next up, we have Star Trek The Next Generation Requiem. I bought this because there is a young Picard with hair on it. So, hold on. Oh my god. Look at my hair. I need hairspray. Let's see how. No hair, hair. No hair, hair. I really like him either way. I love Patrick Stewart, so who plays, of course, Jean-Luc Picard. I just had to have it for the hair. I don't know, it's weird. And I've never seen a TNG hardcover before, so I was like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna get it because it's a hardcover. This is the novelization of the episode All Good Things, and yeah, it's a hardcover. That's why I got it. I don't know, I'm easily amused, easily appeased, easily, like, influenced to buy shit. That's basically me. Anyway, here's the last piece. Okay guys, that was it. That's all the books I had to haul. If you missed it, I recently released another haul with all of the adult horror that I found. A lot of it was vintage horror, so if you missed it, I will link that video down below. I bought the books basically all around the same area. So this whole haul and that other haul, those books all came from used bookstores in essentially the Milwaukee area as well as the Denver area, because my boyfriend and I took 2 trips back in July. One was to Chicago and then Milwaukee, and I only went book shopping in Milwaukee when I was there. And then our other trip, like a week later, we went to Denver. And so I went to a lot of bookstores in Denver. So the majority of the books, they're from Denver. But there are a few that definitely came from Milwaukee. But that's where this whole haul came from, and that other haul that I will have linked below. But for this time, guys, that is it for me. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. But as I just said, that is it for me. Till next time, guys, you know what you can do. Dun, 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 dun. Keep on killing it. Bye, guys.